is Shantaye Brown, for those who don't know me, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Journey to Getting Published. I am the dark romance author of Zell, Deviants and Saints, the first book in the Deviants and Saints series, and I'm currently working on novel number 2, which has nothing to do with the Deviants and Saints series. However, it is a standalone, a psychologically thrilling dark romance novel that I'm vlogging about the journey to getting published. So if you're an author and you're out there and you are like, what the heck am I doing? Then you've come to the right place, because that's what this journey is all about for me. It's just learning along the way. And this video is guided specifically towards the initial stages of the journey, because I know that as authors we tend to start stressing about when to start marketing our manuscript after it's complete, but in reality, like, there's so much work that needs to go into marketing, like even before the book is finished. Like, there comes a time when you need to kind of start to establish your presence on whether it be social media, just kind of putting yourself out there, and you start doing that basically before the completion of your manuscript. And that's what this vlog series video is all about. So let's get into it. I've decided to break this down into 2 parts, and this is the first part. This is how I've done it this far. So I started out with a home, and by home I mean the place where everybody would go and just find me. Let's just say they need to know what I'm up to, or let's just say they need to know a little bit about my book is. The best place to host all of this information is a website. And I currently am using WordPress because I like to overcomplicate my life. So I'm using WordPress, and when we're talking about difficulty level, I would say that WordPress is probably as difficult as it gets if you're not someone who is skilled in the art of website designing and navigating templates and so on. But if we're talking about like some other resources, like in relation to hosting a website, then I would recommend Linktree, which I figured out a couple months later is pretty good for hosting the information. And when I say information, I'm talking about book blurbs, I'm talking about giveaways, I'm talking about just basic information as to what you're up to and your book status. So a website is very important because, like I said, it is your home and it's the first place that people go to. It's your foundation, kind of. And I utilize it for my brand because the whole thing about me being an author, publishing books, I take it quite seriously. And for me, that is my brand. My brand is me. And my website reflects me, you know. It is me in a nutshell, because everything that is there is just authentically me, just like expressing myself. And if you want to be taken seriously as an author, I would advise you to get a website. And moderate to difficult, in like moderate, I would recommend Wix, Linktree, then WordPress. Maybe this one is obvious, or maybe it isn't, but another one is social media platforms. So everybody and their grandma's grandma is on social media, and you would be doing yourself a huge disservice if you didn't ride the wave that's currently sweeping the entire nation. You would not regret it. And currently I have been utilizing social media platforms to just, establish my presence, just kind of really put myself out there, just get in front of people and be like, hey, this is my book. This is what I'm working on. What do you think about reading it? And a couple social media platforms that I've been using are like Facebook. So I've been using that. That's my A1 from day one. Okay, Facebook. I've been using that since my first novel in Jamaica. It's a really good one. Twitter. I had an old Twitter account, but it was very like chaotic. So I removed it and I started a new one, which is just very fully 110% dedicated to the book and everything that I'm doing, along with some of my traveling adventures, you know, because I'm a bit of a mad scientist, like a bit of a raving scientist. So I tend to talk a lot of like crazy stuff on there, but you know, it's me being me, which I 100% like, I condone it. And they have like the best writing community on there. I mean, if you're looking for authors who are writing books, who are looking for book recs, you know, recommendations, like bloggers, like you name it, it's on Twitter. So Twitter is the platform to like make friends, learn, grow, and put yourself in front of people. So whether traditionally publishing or non-traditionally publishing. And another platform obviously is Instagram. Instagram for me is a bit of a doozy. It's a bit of a doozy because like I've recently pulled myself away from it personally, but obviously I need to continue to market myself as an author on there. So I've been learning the art of using social media but not be used by social media. So Instagram is pretty good. It's really, I think it's a really good marketing tool. It's really good to reach just a wide range of like just an audience. So that's really great for that. And another one that I've also been really like going to pound town on is TikTok. I'm a baby there. I'm just a little baby. Just a little baby on TikTok, but I like it so far. So far, so good. I can see what the hype is all about, and they also have like a huge book talker community, a huge author talk community on there. Like you discover like all these different talents, all these different bloggers, like just all these different characters, and it's just a whole vibe. But like I love TikTok. Like TikTok is for me for sure. Another way to establish your presence on social media is through blogging. So not only is it the perfect gateway to just market your own personal brand of niche, but it's just like you write books, okay? You write books. What better way to hone your craft than to write more? And I think blogging does that. It does that for me at least, because currently my blog is all about the journey to getting published. And it's, as the name suggests, it's helping other authors to learn as they go, the same way I'm learning as I go, to kind of share what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And I am so open to sharing like all the downsides, like all my failures, all my big fat stinking no's. I'm open to sharing that with my blog and just connecting with like-minded people. Like, maybe you've always thought about publishing, you know, maybe you finished your book and, you know, you're not quite sure. I mean, my blog is there. It's there to encourage. It's there to inspire, I hope, people into just kind of like taking that leap of faith and just going after their dreams, aka their freaking goals. Like, you can crush it. Like, you can do it. Like, and I feel like my blog does that. It supports people. It lets them feel seen. It lets them know that they're not the only ones that are on this journey, that I'm there with them too. So I would 100% recommend, if you also have the time, to utilize blogging or vlogging. you wrote a book. What is the book about, right? This is where your blurb or synopsis comes in. This is also another way to establish your presence. It gives everybody kind of a summary of what your book is about. Like, it could be less obvious, and it couldn't be less obvious even if it tried, because your blurb is your way of establishing your position in front of the masses. Everybody has their own specific preference of what they would like to read when it comes to books. Everybody has a little bit of, they have their own taste, and like, your blurb kind of lets people know what they're getting themselves into, and it's one of the A1 ways to promote your book. Like, I've rewrote my blurb at least 6 times, and at the moment I'm still not quite sure that it's what I'm gonna roll with, but for now it'll do. But your blurb, it's your book's representation, and it could determine your book's success. So no pressure, but your blurb could determine your book's success and how many people take the chance on it. So just put a lot of work into just making sure that your blurb is something that you love and something that conveys your book without giving too much away. No spoilers. It's an art. It's an art, and if you can like hit the right spot and get it just right, then you'll do okay. And what I would recommend, even after 8 years, is a book blurb campaign. And what this is basically submitting your synopsis, aka blurb, to just a lot of different bloggers. And what they do is they share it with their audience. And this is the perfect way to spark a bit of buzz before your release date, whether you're traditional or a non-traditional publisher. Like, sharing it with blogs is a win-win, because not only do they share it with the people who follow them, their audience, but they end up sharing it with their friends and so on. And these people would end up adding your book to their to be read pile on Goodreads, or just basically like create that whole like weight, like that whole like oh my god, I can't wait for this book to come out kind of like suspense for your novel. And I mean, who doesn't want that? So I would 100% recommend, even after 8 years. I did that in the past when I was self-publishing in Jamaica, and trust me, I reached a lot of people who were like eager to read my book, and I will definitely be using it this time around. Last but not least, a giveaway. And this is pretty like straightforward, because who doesn't like to win stuff? Like me personally, I've never won anything. Never. I cannot think of one thing I've ever like won. I would mark myself as a very like fortunate person in life, as a very blessed person, but I cannot quite put a finger on something that I've ever won. But that goes to show you how many people are just like me, and I never win things. So hosting a giveaway to spark a buzz for your book is probably a surefire way to do just that. And speaking of a giveaway, I'm thinking of doing one myself. Like, I'm not such a sore loser because I've never actually won one myself, and just in time for the holidays, I'm thinking of hosting my very own giveaway. And what I will do, as an example, of course, is utilize this giveaway to show you just how much it can maximize your outreach. So you give away something that is in full relation to your book and just kind of get people to just kind of join it because it's fun. The prospect of winning something, the prospect of a new book that's in your, the type of book that you enjoy reading, the whole idea of a giveaway, it's a win-win for everybody. So I will be hosting my own, and the information can be found on my Instagram account, which is at author_Shantaye. The link will be in the description. And I hope you all join, and I hope you all share it, and I want you all to win, but unfortunately there can only be one winner. There's just one thing that I just want to leave you with, and that is, do not get discouraged, because I know what it's like. I know how it feels sometimes when you're doing this. It's a bit of kind of like a lonely road. There is no instant gratification that comes when you're publishing a book. It's just kind of like you have to be in it for the long haul. You might think that the support will come from the people who you imagine it will, but the truth is it comes from the most random places. And that is the best thing, because it means that these people actually believe in you, because why would you want to be supported by people who don't believe in you? Tell me why. Tell me why would you want the support of people who don't believe in you? Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. And I mean, why? Just go with who believes in you. Vibe with them, vibe with their energy, because these are the ones who you want in your corner. You feel that energy. It really pushes you to do better and be better. And it is not easy, but authors will tell you, if you're in it for the long haul and you really do it, like you really go until the end. And I'm not just talking about writing the end on your manuscript. I'm talking about getting it to the end where you actually publish it and share it with the world, that it is worth it. And meeting people who believe in you, that is just one of the most joyful things to happen on your journey. And if you can meet those people, then you are one of the fortunate ones. And you should be thankful that maybe they are not the people who you thought they would be, but they're the ones that you truly need on your journey. And I will end that with saying you should totally subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Journey to Getting Published, and join me for part 2 of how to establish your presence before you publish your manuscript. And also join my giveaway. It's on my Instagram profile.